Are you struggling with hair loss? Well, before you give up and start rocking that bald look, get yourself a box of Novaxidil. It's the only clinically proven triple action hair loss treatment on the market. It has 5% minoxidil, which is the gold standard for regrowth. But minoxidil alone will not prevent further loss. For that, Novaxidil uses DHT blocker ketoconazole with added nicotinamide, vitamin K, biotin, and collagen peptides. Basically, every single ingredient you could possibly think of in one product. So stop rubbing peppermint oil behind your ears and get something that works. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Novaxidil.
All right, serious and selling this bodybuilding. So I know I'm a little late to the party, but I have been pretty sick. So I am back. I am 95% better. I battled COVID and vertigo was like a shit show. If you saw my last two videos I put up, I was really like half out of it. But I feel 100 times better. And now I get to rant about the new rule that I'm late to the show for, the new IFBB Pro rule, the 3-year status. So this has been going around and everybody wants to know my opinion and so on and so forth. So I figured I'm just going to make a separate video talking about my opinion on the 3-year pro status. Okay. So I'm going to read the actual rule. Okay. So it says an active member who chooses not to renew his or her membership automatically becomes an inactive member and may remain inactive for up to 3 years. Both active and inactive members must abide by IFBB professional league rules and policies. And if you are a IFBB Pro and it goes past the 3 years, in order to get your pro card again, you have to re-qualify. Now, what do I think about this? Well, first, let's break down what they actually mean by active. What they mean by active is just paying your fee. They want you to pay your fee every year to keep the status of your pro card. They don't care if you're on stage. It's not like active meaning competing. No. They couldn't give 3 fucks if you were competing. What they want to know is if you keep paying the dues so that they can take in more money every year. And then they will, if you don't within 3 years, you get rid of the pro card. Now, guys that are going to compete, they're gonna automatically, pay the dues because they want to compete. In my estimation, this is my opinion. This is more for people that have gotten a pro status and want to put like on their Instagram IFBB Pro. Maybe it helps their personal training. Maybe a pro bodybuilder that is retired and this is what, this was his identity or this was his like big goal that he achieved and he wants to continue that. So that money just keeps coming in, because if you don't pay the dues, you want to requalify. It's very difficult to get a pro card. I mean, obviously it's not as difficult as what years back, but technically it's going to be a lot easier when you're younger and in the middle of bodybuilding, because I know plenty of people, guys and girls, that have gotten that pro status, have gotten that pro card, and they smack it on their business cards or on their Instagram, personal trainer, IFBB Pro, and it helps their business. Then I know people that are retired pros and they just don't want to lose the status of being an IFBB Pro. They always want to say that. That might have been a bucket list and they got it. Maybe they did 1 or 2 shows, or maybe they're just retired now, whatever the case may be, and they just want to keep that status. This is a way to keep money rolling in. That's all it is. Like I said, they can give 3 shits whether you're competing or not. Active just means paying your fee every year to keep your IFBB Pro card. That's it. So my opinion of the IFBB is kind of up and down. I like here's what I like, because this is what it's coming down to. I like the judging. I know people think I'm crazy, but I think the judging in the last, 5-6 years has been much better than in the past. And I believe it's primarily because Steven Weisberger is the majority of the head judges in an IFBB Pro show, especially within the States. Maybe not so much overseas, but in the States, and everybody kind of gets a fair shake. So I like that idea. I like that they, you know, try to put on a good show and have a great expo, which is a lot of fun. But at the same time, they just keep looking for spots to line their pocket. What is the easiest way to line their pocket? Oh, I know a new way. Let's add another class. So every couple of years you get a new class. So then every time you want to, compete in that class, you have to pay more money. Or if you want to complete in both classes, you got to pay more money, right? And then, oh, I got a new way. How about if you don't pay your fee for 3 years, you're stripped of your IFBB status, pro status, and the only way to get it back is to requalify. So it gives you no choice; you have to pay it. And they just line their pockets. Now, I get everybody's got to make a living, but it's almost like they're using the IFBB Pro card fee as a tax. Got like registration to a car. Gotta have it, otherwise you can't drive. if if the IFBB were a person, he would the IFBB would be that person that you go out to dinner with, and they check the check. They go, oh no, I only ordered the salad, and I had one beer, so I'm only giving you $17. Instead of going, yeah, don't worry about it, whatever. Let's split it 3 ways, whatever the case may be. The IFBB would be, remember when you used to go out, or maybe the younger kids, the younger people that watch this, the IFBB would be the guy that disappears when it's time to buy his round at the bar. That's who they would be, right? Because that guy has plenty of money. He just doesn't say it, right? But when it's time to buy the round, he disappears. And then he comes back 20 minutes later. Somebody else already bought the round. And they make an excuse. Oh, I was talking to this girl. Oh, I saw a friend of mine. Oh, I had to go to the bathroom. Every time. And everybody has a friend like that. That's the IFBB, And if you guys don't go out, right? I mean, I don't go out much anymore. But you walk in, if there's 5 guys, I got the first round. I pay for the first 5 drinks. Next guy pays for the next 5 drinks. The IFBB would be the guy. And there's always one guy that skips that whole, just disappears. I had a friend like that. Fucking hated him. And then when he got married, he had like a house that it was unbelievable. And we all owned a brick in that house because he never paid a dime. But anyway, this to me is just a money grab. Another money grab. That's all it is. They're not interested in expanding the IFBB on a better and broader stage. They say that with the new classes that they put in, right? They'll say that. They'll say, "Oh, it's a new class, and it'll bring more people in, and it'll broaden the experience of bodybuilding, and it'll broaden the knowledge of bodybuilding to more people." There are so many sports that are intertwined with bodybuilding that are not structured well, like strongman, powerlifting, arm wrestling. They're a shit show. There's no governing body. There's nothing. It's a mess. And they are very, very much intertwined with each other. And to me, it would be work, but it would be something that would really drive home the fact that we really want to expand this to as many people as possible. And that would be bring organization and time and effort to structure these niche sports that could easily interact with bodybuilding. I mean, think about it. Every time you go to an expo, there's arm wrestling. Every time you go to an expo, there's strongman. Every time you go to an expo, there's powerlifting. And it's a free-for-all. There's no rhyme or reason. All right. This is just my opinion. And I truly believe that they are dying for some structure. And at the very least, the IFBB gives bodybuilding structure. They go, we got to hit A, B, C, D. This is how you turn pro. This is how you do it. So on and so forth. If you don't do it, you're out. tough. That's it. These are the rules and regulations. In arm wrestling, there are so many different federations. In powerlifting, there are so many different federations. In strongman, it's the same thing. And if the IFBB like truly wanted to do that, do you know how you would introduce so many people to the IFBB? There would be a hell of a lot more endorsements. There would be a lot more people because you could do registration cards. Guess what? In order to be a professional arm wrestler under the IFBB, you have to pay a fee. In order to arm wrestle at an IFBB tournament, you have to pay a fee, just like they do with bodybuilding. And it would broaden this huge horizon, and it would take work. It would take expanding employees. It would take expanding offices and knowledge. You would have to bring people in that know about these things. But this is what like real business people do in order to expand their power, in order to expand their careers. This is what they do, right? You don't go for, I'm not saying do the Vince McMahon thing and go from professional wrestling to football, right? No, it's right there at your grasp. This is just my opinion. And I think it would be easier said than done. And God knows they have the money to do it. Because if they don't, after all these fees, then somebody's got to take over the accounting department. Holy shit. That's just my opinion. I mean, the flip side is who cares? If you're not competing, who cares about your ID and not being a pro? But this is just a money grab. That's all this is. It's just line my pockets. What's the easiest way to get more money, to take more money from you and put it in my pocket? That's it. Now, I have no animosity toward the IFBB, but I'm keeping it a buck. I am keeping it 100. All right. You are not going to get any fake bullshit out of me. There are people that are going to disagree with me. There are going to be people that will argue with me. And that's great. Put it in the description, in comments, rather, not description. I put the description in. You put in the comments. I put the description. Put it all in there. And let me know how you feel. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. I'm always going to keep it a buck. This is my honest opinion. Whether you don't like it or agree with it or don't agree with it, I'm always going to be honest and straightforward with you. That's all this is, and as far as I'm concerned, because it doesn't do anything else. There's no other. It's not like they're saying you have to compete, otherwise we're taking your card away. No, they're saying you have to pay the fee. That's it. That's all it is. So there is no other reason I could think of than this whole thing is to get money from you and giving it to the IFBB. That's it. All right, guys, listen, like, share, fucking subscribe already. I mean, we gotta get my channel bouncing, son. I mean, I know we're doing well, but we're almost at 2,000 subscribers, and we really should be a lot more. I know people watch and don't subscribe. Just subscribe. Hit that button. Hit the notification bell. I give you great content, and I'm very handsome. So just fucking hit the goddamn button. For fuck's sake.